Among the celestial hierarchy, we are taught the names of the guardians. We know Michael, the warrior who cast down the dragon. We know Gabriel, the hornblower of the apocalypse. But hidden within the smoke-filled halls of Jewish mysticism is a name that commands more power than all of them combined. A being so immense that his crown fills the span of 500 years' journey. A being so controversial that his very existence threatened the foundation of monotheism. His name is Metatron. He is the Prince of the Countenance, the Angel of the Face, and most shockingly, the Lesser Yahweh. While every other angel was created from the breath of the divine at the dawn of time, Metatron's origin is far more complex. He was once a man who walked with God until he simply stopped being human. Why was the most powerful being in heaven scrubbed from the canonical Bible? Why do ancient texts claim he sits on a throne while every other angel, even the seraphim, must stand? Today, we are descending into the deepest mysteries of the Hekalat, the heavenly palaces, to uncover the secrets of the heavenly scribe. To find Metatron, we have to start with a ghost. In the book of Genesis, chapter 5, we see a genealogy of the patriarchs. It is a grim list of he lived and he died. But when the text reaches Enoch, the seventh from Adam, the rhythm breaks. Genesis 5:24 says, Enoch walked faithfully with God. Then he was no more because God took him away. For centuries, this single sentence was the ultimate biblical cold case. Where did he go? He didn't die. He was translated. The second book of Enoch tells us that two angels, tall as giants, with faces like the sun, appeared in his bedroom and carried him through the 7 layers of heaven. This wasn't a tour. It was an abduction of the soul. Enoch was shown the mechanics of the universe, the storehouses of the snow, the path of the sun, and the terrifying prisons where the fallen watchers are kept in chains of darkness. But as Enoch approached the 10th heaven, the Arabot, his humanity became a problem. The angels of the presence smelled the odor of a mortal and demanded his expulsion. They cried out, "What is the smell of a woman born doing in this place of fire?" What happens next is perhaps the most terrifying physical description in all of ancient literature. To survive the direct presence of the Creator, Enoch's human anatomy had to be destroyed. The 3 Enoch, the Hebrew book of Enoch, describes a total biological rewrite. The text says, God laid his hand upon Enoch and enlarged his stature until he reached the height and width of the world. Then, his flesh was turned into flaming torches. His muscles became burning fire. His bones were transformed into embers of juniper. His eyelashes became flashes of lightning, and his eyeballs turned into glowing sparks. He was no longer a man of meat and bone. He was a being of pure celestial energy. God then fashioned for him a majestic robe of luminaries and a crown of 49 radiant stones, each as bright as the sun. On this crown, God inscribed the secret letters by which the heavens and the earth were created. This is the birth of Metatron. He was given 72 wings, 36 on each side, and each wing spanned the entirety of the universe. In this moment, the patriarch Enoch ceased to exist, and the Prince of the Presence was born. Once transformed, Metatron was given a desk at the edge of the void. As the heavenly scribe, he occupies a role that is both administrative and terrifying. In the mystical tradition, he is the guardian of the book of life. Every word you speak, every secret intention you harbor, and every deed performed in the dark is recorded by Metatron's hand. He is the cosmic witness. But why a scribe? Why does an all-knowing God need an angel to write things down? The answer lies in Metatron's human origins. Because he was once a man, he understands the weight of human temptation. He is the mediator. He takes the infinite blinding justice of the divine and steps it down into a form that humanity can survive. He is the recording angel, who will read the testimony of your soul when you stand at the final gate. In Kabbalah, he is associated with the Sephira Keter, the crown, or Binah, understanding, serving as the bridge between the world of Atzilut, emanation, and our physical reality. This is where the story turns dangerous. In the Babylonian Talmud, in the tractate Haggadah 15a, we find the story of the four who entered the orchard. One of these men was the great scholar Elisha ben Abuya. When Elisha ascended to heaven in a vision, he saw something that shattered his faith. He saw Metatron sitting down. In the celestial court, there is a hard law. No one sits except God. Every angel, every seraph, every power must stand in a posture of eternal service. By seeing Metatron seated on a throne, Elisha concluded, there are indeed two powers in heaven. This was the ultimate heresy. It suggested that Metatron was a second god, a lesser Yahweh. To prevent a schism, the rabbis tell us that the angel Anaphiel was sent to give Metatron 60 lashes of fire to prove that he was still a servant and not the master. This controversy is the reason Metatron was scrubbed from the official Bible. He was too much for a monotheistic religion. He was a human who had become so divine that even the greatest sages couldn't tell the difference between him and the Creator. Today, Metatron survives in the sacred geometry known as Metatron's cube. This symbol, containing all 5 Platonic solids, is said to be the blueprint of matter itself. But beyond the geometry and the ancient scrolls, the story of Metatron is a story about you. It is the ultimate symbol of human potential. It suggests that the boundary between the man in the dust and the prince in the stars is thinner than we think. Metatron is the reminder that through walking with God, through the pursuit of holiness and wisdom, the human soul is capable of transfiguration. He remains the silent scribe, the hidden prince, and the fiery reminder of where we came from and where we might be going.